If you're a heart-led, soul-led woman who's ready to stop drifting and start designing a life that actually feels like yours, I want to welcome you into Aligned and Abundant, the Soul Shine Collective. This is a private community where you'll be held by like-minded women and supported by me personally. Together, we'll get curious about what this life is truly about, using practical tools and spiritual wisdom to live by design, not by default. Think slow mornings, conscious living, present moment joy, and lifelong learning. If it's calling to you, that's your sign. Your personal invitation is in the show notes, and the doors, just like my heart, are wide open. And research shows that every single time you let yourself be taken care of, so you let yourself be taken care of, let that sink in. You are sending a message to the universe. I am someone who receives. I am open. I am worthy. And the universe responds to that every single time. Hey, beautiful soul. Welcome back to Aligned and Abundant. I'm your host, Christine Marcario. And if you are brand new here, hi, I'm so glad you found your way. And if you've been following along on this money blocks journey with me, I love you. You showing up every week means everything. Let me do a quick catch up for anyone who is just joining us because this is an ongoing series and it is so good. A few weeks ago, I had this honest moment with myself on a Sunday morning. Coffee, journal, laptop, and I just had to admit, I still have money blocks. Not in the theoretical way, in the real, tangible, let's actually do something about this finally way. So I went down a research rabbit hole and found this incredible list of 10 ways to clear your money blocks. And I decided right then and there, I'm going to bring you with me as I work through each one in real life. Not in theory, not perfectly, but in practice, in real time. I could have done this privately, but I feel like it has a purpose in being shared out loud. So I am so happy that you have been tuning in and joining in. Some of you have wrote to me and told me you are joining in, and I cannot wait to hear your celebrations, your wins, your unlocks. So please feel free to reach out to me and tell me all about it. You see, so far we have already covered 4 steps together. Step 1 was clearing the stagnant energy, the decluttering that makes space for money to actually move. And fun fact, yesterday was Mother's Day, and instead of doing nothing or being pampered, I actually cleaned my backyard. We decluttered all of the leaves and some overgrowth, and it felt really good. Then, because I was into the flow and I loved the results, we moved to the garage and we literally spent hours in the garage. So I was on my feet all day. But you know what? At the end of the day, I felt so freaking good. Why? Because in my mind, I kept saying, when I am decluttering and I am loosening up this stagnant energy, I am making space for what is ready to come in. Come in. I don't have to waste time thinking about moving this one item that I want to keep for a one day or a someday. I don't have to waste that time and energy there anymore. And I can spend it on things that feel really good to me, that light me up, that bring in revenue, like my astrocartography reports that have been thebomb.com. Like, I am loving doing them. And so not having to worry about cleaning or trying to sell stuffed animals on Facebook Marketplace that I've been hanging on to just cleared up some energy. And I always believe that when we donate things, they go to the right people. Even my daughter got into it. She was like, Mom, I don't need this tricycle anymore. She's like, I would rather give it to a kid who could really use it and love it. And that just warmed my heart. It was the best Mother's Day because of that. All right. Step 2 was releasing grudges. The forgiveness work that sets you free and not anyone else, because it is about clearing up your energy and letting go of the grudges that you are holding on to, that you might not even realize you're holding on to, but it's like an onion. When you peel back one layer of your subconscious thoughts or your conscious thoughts, then another level rises to the surface. So sometimes we might even have more beliefs that are subconsciously hidden, and we have to get to the bottom of that. So we just have to peel back one layer at a time and trust in divine timing that when it is time, it will appear. So our journey is never complete, but ongoing. And that is the journey of life. We're constantly learning lessons, and we are constantly growing and then utilizing that information to better ourselves and everyone else around us is just a benefit to it. Step 3 was EFT tapping, that body-based tool that moves energy out of your nervous system so your mind can stop running the old programs on loop. This one is so great because it connects your body and your mind and clears out your energy. There are so many benefits to EFT tapping. Love EFT tapping. And step 4 was gratitude, and not the checklist version, but the felt in your body kind that shifts your entire frequency. And y'all, things have been shifting in a good way. I found my missing debit card after cleaning out my car. It had been missing for over a year. I lose my debit card multiple times a year. The bank probably thinks I'm crazy, but that's okay. I deleted 32,000 old emails. Yep, just taking up space and energy. And opportunities have been flowing in with ease. And as they do, I am expressing so much gratitude to money, to the clients, to God, to source, to myself, because I am doing the work. So this is not a coincidence. This is energy in motion, in real time, proving to me that this is the work. So today we're moving into steps 5 and 6. And I have to say, these two are some of my favorites in the whole series so far. Not because they're the easiest. Actually, they might bring up some of the most resistance, but because they go the deepest. And I love deep things. Now, don't put your mind in the gutter, okay? I like deep conversations, deep friendships, deep, meaningful events and experiences, okay? So let's go. Here's the concept that stopped me mid-scroll when I was rereading my source material. I had to put my phone down and just sit with it for a second. It said, the more you take care of yourself, the more that being taken care of reflects back to you. And I'm going to say that again. The more you take care of yourself, the more that being taken care of reflects back to you. The depth at which you give yourself love, nurturing, patience, and pampering is the exact depth at which you will allow yourself to receive love, nurturing, patience, pampering, and being taken care of by money, by people, by life, and by the universe. So the question I want to ask you, and I want you to sit with this honestly, is how are you treating yourself right now? Are you skipping meals and running on caffeine? Are you saying yes to everything and everyone else and no to yourself? Are you wearing the ratty old pajamas because the nice ones feel like too much money? Are you saving the good candle for a special occasion that somehow never comes? Or maybe you're putting off the massage until you hit a certain income goal, telling yourself you'll rest when things settle down, doing all the things, holding it all together, and leaving yourself for absolute last. Here's what I have come to know. If you can't give to yourself, you can't fully receive from life. It's an energetic law. What you block in your giving to self, you block in your receiving from the universe. And no amount of strategy, hustle, or action steps will override that. So, what does self-care actually look like? Now, I want to be super clear about what I mean by self-care here, because this is not just about face masks and bubble baths, even though you know I love a good bubble bath. The self-care that actually shifts your money frequency goes a little deeper, and I want to walk you through 3 layers of it. The first layer is actually sitting with what's happening inside you. Don't skip the hard feelings. Don't rush past the fear or the scarcity or the sadness. Sit with it. Hold space for yourself the way you would for someone else, someone you love deeply. Say to yourself, I'm scared about money right now, and that's okay. I'm allowed to feel this. When you can be with yourself in the hard moments, without running, without numbing, without white knuckling through it all, you are training your nervous system that it's safe to feel things. And that includes feeling abundance. This is also exactly the kind of work I support women through in my coaching. Because reading about it and actually doing it with someone in your corner, 2 very different experiences. The container matters. Layer 2 is journaling the chaos out. Your journal is not a to-do list. It is a release valve. The invitation here is to take everything swirling around in your head, the worry, the what ifs, the crazy, the joy, the uncertainty, and let it move from inside of you onto the paper. You are literally decluttering your mind the same way we decluttered our homes and inboxes back in step 1. You see, a cluttered mind cannot receive clearly. So clear it. I just made a huge to-do list today, and I've been working through it because I saw a post that really opened my eyes. It was this woman who was basically showing why it matters to have routines and to do things in the moment. So for example, she came through her door after a day of work and she, in one scene, threw her coat on the floor, her shoes on the floor, her purse, just at this little table instead of actually putting them away. And then in the next clip, it showed just how little extra time it took to go over to the closet and hang her coat up, to put her shoes on her shoe rack, to put her purse where it actually belonged. And it clicked in my mind because instead of having to spend an entire day, because I've done this, cleaning and decluttering and picking up after myself, just get into the routine and the habit of doing it right then and there in the moment. And it's how good could that actually feel? So it got me thinking to my to-do list, things that I've been carrying for months, for weeks, that I'm let me just take the time to actually weed these things out. And then I can start back at a 0. I can start back at a neutral. Because some of these things I've been thinking about doing for weeks, like I've said, and it's just so time to go, time to let it go. So it's part of my decluttering process right now. And I feel like you can never, unless you become like a complete minimalist where you have like a toothbrush, a towel, and like 7 pieces of clothing. I think that there's always things to let go of. And again, when we're letting go of things, especially things that have been like sitting stagnant for months or years, that energy collects and it creates stagnancy and it creates stickiness and feelings of being stuck. And you don't even know that that's the environment that you're living in. So it's time to let any and everything go possible. And yes, it takes time, but it also is so freaking rewarding. Going down that same spiral, I also came across some guided journal prompts that are actually helping me to get clear with my money blocks. And so I want to just remind you that these types of questions and coaching also take place and happen in the Soul Shine Collective, my private school community where I am calling in aligned souls, women and men who are on a journey with themselves. They are spiritual and they have a curiosity where they want to learn more. And that's just what I'm doing. That's what I am modeling and embodying. And it's one thing to talk about something, but it's another to actually do it. And that's why I did the research to get that head start, but I'm doing it. I'm doing the things, I'm learning as I'm going, and I'm sharing it with you along the way. Now, layer 3 is actually doing the thing, like what I was just talking about. So book the massage, get the facial, go for the walk, make the reservation at the restaurant you keep driving by, and buy yourself the freaking flowers, okay? So I just literally decided, guys, this is going back to, I can't even tell you how long ago it was. It might have even have been over a year, where I asked my friend, I said, hey, do you know anyone who does a good lymphatic massage? And she said, I 100% do. Here's the person. And I never did anything with it. And I keep energetically feeling something's up with my lymphatic system. So I was like, you know what? I searched Facebook, I found the message, and I found the person and I booked myself that massage. And then I was like, ooh, red light therapy as an add-on? Yes, please. So I am finally going to get the lymphatic massage that I have been wanting for probably over a year, because why? It's just time to actually do the thing that I want to do. And it's going to be so good for my body. And it's like kind of decluttering my body. Like I feel like my lymph is stagnant. I feel like it's stuck and I want to test it out. Like I am a generator for human design, and part of my human design is trial and error. So I want to try it out. I want to test it. I want to see if I feel a difference. And I just want to take care of this vessel that I'm chilling in for this season, this life, right? And see what happens. It's, again, just collecting information about my body and who I am and going along for this ride called life. But here's the cool part. When you're in the experience, actually letting yourself receive it. So that's also part of this. I am letting myself receive this. I am going to sit on the massage table. I am not going to run through my to-do list. I'm going to actually be there, feel it, listen to the music, feel the sensations that are accompanying me and my body, and just be present. And then with that also, just feel gratitude. Gratitude that someone has the skill set to be able to do this for me. It's just so, so beautiful. And research shows that every single time you let yourself be taken care of, so you let yourself be taken care of, let that sink in. You are sending a message to the universe. I am someone who receives. I am open. I am worthy. And the universe responds to that every single time. Now, another thing that I want you to try is to talk sweetly to yourself. There was a line in the article I pulled this series from that made me laugh and tear up a little at the same time, because it's just so true. The author mentions talking sweetly to yourself, and she says she does this with her plants, and they're growing fast and healthy because of it. And I thought, We all know plants respond to kind words. There's actually science on this. So what happens when we apply that same energy to ourselves? Also, you can Google or YouTube videos of rice. So the same thing applied. You put rice, 2 equal portions, both in water, and one you talk really negatively to, like, you're so ugly, I hate you, I can't stand you. And the other one you talk sweetly to, like, oh, I love you, you're so good, you're so precious. And you will literally see a difference. The rice that you talk yucky to will turn, like, the water will turn brown and mucky. And the rice that you talk sweetly to will stay like crispy white. I'm telling you, look it up or try it. Like, try it yourself. And it's just real evidence. There's real science about how we speak to ourselves. So instead of saying, oh, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm bloated, like, use kinder words. I love how my eyes look. Ooh, my hair came out really great today. Ooh, these pair of jeans look really good on my booty. All right. Anything that you can genuinely compliment on yourself, do it. Talk nicely to yourself. You have to take care of yourself. You have to be your own best friend, your own advocate for yourself. So think about how different would your life be if you spoke to yourself the way you speak to the people you love the most. Take care of yourself like your own child, your own pet, your niece or nephew, your grandmother, your mother, like the person that you love the most. Take care of yourself the same way that you take care of them, because most of us would move mountains for our kids, our spouse, our nieces, our best friends, but we leave ourselves for last too often. And there is only one you. And the energy of your life, including your financial life, is going to mirror how deeply you believe that. This is the inner work. And inner work is exactly what gets accelerated when you have a guide, a coach, a community doing it alongside you. Solo is hard. Together is where the breakthroughs actually happen. And I love that you're on this journey with me. So here is your step 5 practice. Here's what I want you to do this week. Choose one thing that is purely for you. It's not productive. It's not efficient. It's not for anyone else. It is just for you. Okay? Think back again. It is the massage. It is the overdue haircut. It is getting your hair highlighted. It is getting your nails done. It is getting your toes done. It is going to that Zumba class that you have been wanting to try. I don't even know if Zumba is a thing anymore. I do still see it advertised. It is trying the thing that you have been putting off. Nothing is permanent. You can go and be like, this is not for me. But the fact that you let yourself go, you gifted yourself the experience, gives you the data and the feedback, whether or not you want to keep doing it, do it more often, never do it again in your life. That's all good because you are showing up for yourself. And that is an act of love. That is someone who can say, I am someone who receives. I am worthy of being taken care of. I am open. I'm going to drop that in the show notes because when you're doing the thing, I want you to repeat those words out loud. Okay? Hand on your chest, hand on your heart. I am someone who receives. I am worthy of being taken care of. I am open. And then let's just see what happens. Let's play with it. And let's notice what starts to shift. Step 6, get intimate with your money. Ooh, I'm already getting that resistance. Oh, all right. The relationship you've been avoiding usually has to do with money. Okay. We're going somewhere that most people avoid, and I completely understand why, because I have avoided it too. Money does not always feel good to me. But we are going to talk about actually looking at your money. It's really kind of funny to me because I have adapted the philosophy of someone else where I don't look at my money. I let God be my CFO and just trust that money will always be there and I will always be provided for. And I do believe in that. But another part of me also believes that in order to bring in more money, you do have to be aware of what you currently have. But it's more than just that, though. It is about the state of mind in which you are at when you are looking at your money. So please, please do not look at your bank account and be like, damn, that sucks. Okay, no, you have to be thankful. You have to be grateful because every single cent is a gift. Every single cent is something that it would benefit you to express gratitude for. So here's what I've realized. I am going to be practical and honest with my money. I am going to open my bank account and look at the numbers every single day, and not in an obsessed, crazy way, but I am so thankful for you. I am grateful that you are able to flow in and out easily. And I am thankful for when money comes in expectedly and unexpectedly. It's going to create a different kind of relationship with me and my money. And I'm really curious to see what is going to happen. I'm going to be thankful that I have the money to pay an electric bill, that I have the money to pay my gas bill. And when Verizon loves to sneak in those little extra charges, I'm going to be thankful that I have the extra $2.11 new maintenance fee. Okay, I'm also putting a little sarcasm in there, out there towards Verizon. But real talk, let's get honest with our money. Let's pay attention to how it comes in and how it comes out. And let's celebrate when it comes out. You got paid? Girl, pay yourself first. Go get that coffee. Go get that Lego set. Aunt, that's for you. Go get the freaking Lego set that you want, all right? That's my husband, y'all, if you're just tuning in. I want you to be able to treat yourself, okay? And I'm not talking about go crazy and go blow your entire paycheck at Nordstrom, all right? Don't do that. Don't be irresponsible. This is about being responsible and being honest. Being honest. We cannot change if we don't lay everything out and take a close look at it. All right, but we are going to continue to create shifts here. We are going to learn how to build things, to attract clients, to create offers, because underneath all of the fear of looking directly at the numbers, we are creating subconscious blocks about money flowing in, about our aligned clients coming our way. You know, I was reaching out to some people. I was making those personal DMs about, hey, you know, you raised your hand on this offer. Are you still interested? And I honored when people said, no, you know what? It doesn't feel good to me right now. That's cool, because I've been offered so many things. And sometimes when I hear the price, or I really sit and think about it, is it something that I need right now? Or do I think this is going to benefit me? Sometimes the answer is a no. But what I do also know is that the offer is there. And if I want to circle back to it, or the time feels right, I can circle back to it. Oftentimes there's not this is it. This is the only time. And people love to say that, you know, marketing. This is the only time you'll ever see it this low. And so it's like building on your fear. It's building on your scarcity. We're like, oh my God, I got to get it now. It will never be this low again. That is such a crock. Okay, look at all these big wigs in the coaching industry, and there's no shame. I'm not knocking anybody because things change. But when they say, okay, this is it, this is the way it's going to be, and you won't see this price, and then XYZ, right? And then 5 years later, the price is lower than it's ever been. Why? Because people grow, they evolve. the coaching industry changes, the marketing industry changes, the way we utilize social media for sales, everything is changing because we as human beings are on the way to a different frequency, and people are wanting more personal connection. So when you used to be able to sell something very easily right on social media, people are not into that anymore. They are into having a personal touch, talking to a human. And I'm not knocking ManyChat or anything like that, but I'm also talking about the importance of having a real connection to the person that you are trying to extend an offer to, right? And we have to get over this where you feel like a used car salesman selling your goods, right? Selling your items. No, it's not about that. It's about building trust and a relationship. Like, you don't go and just buy something from a complete stranger. At least I wouldn't advise you to, because oftentimes when I have done that, it's usually backfired. Like, it ends up becoming a waste of money. So get to know your person, get to know who you're buying an item from, whether you're considering a program, a course, and then also, utilize your information. Like, I know that I am not great at XYZ. And so what I'm trying to say is the way that we make offers and the way that we build out our businesses, or we are a consumer, changes. And that's okay. So what I'm saying is, please be wise, right? Be wise with how you spend your money in regards to make sure it feels good. That's all that it's about. Does purchasing this membership feel good? Does purchasing this massage feel good? Does purchasing this pair of slightly overpriced sneakers feel good? Okay? Buy from a place that feels good. It's all about an energetic exchange. So it has to feel equivocal to the money that you are putting out to what you are receiving. Okay? And so if you have to question that, then that's okay. Hold off. Ask more questions. People that are offering you things, like myself, right, are not going to be offended if you ask questions. That's fine. You want to know. I literally just messaged someone before I recorded this into a membership that I purchased. And I said, hey, I'm just a little confused. Tell me exactly what this membership includes. And she was like, oh my gosh, no problem. Here you go. And I'm like, cool. Now I feel better about it because I understand it better. Okay. I got more clarity. And I am all about right now coming into alignment with who I want to surround myself with. So on top of buying into that membership, I also canceled a membership today because it didn't feel, not that it felt bad to me, but it just didn't feel like an alignment. I got some stuff out of it, and I just felt like I could be better served somewhere else. So I made the switch, and I feel really, really, really good about it. And it's just all about what lights you up and what feels good. Like, guys, you don't have to commit. You don't have to commit. You don't have to do anything. You go in and you come out as you please. And that is one of the beautiful things about the word that's coming to my mind is soul freedom. So take that as you will. That's channeled right there. Soul freedom. Come in and out. You are here to live and learn. Like, literally, you are here to live and learn. And part of it is about money and where we spend it. And I'm just being real with you and overcoming the subtle fears of looking directly at the numbers, committing, wondering if you're disappointing yourself or someone else. Like, it's okay. It's all a part of the learning experience. So this week's goal is going to be get intimate with your money. Open that bank account app. Take a look at it. If you need to trim somewhere, what do they say? If you need to cut the fat somewhere, money's leaking out, go ahead and take a close look at that. You never use your Kindle app? Get rid of it, right? You want to download Audible? Download it. think about where you want to spend your money. So practice 1 is going to be check your bank account every single day. And then when you open it, notice what comes up. Not to judge it, not to spiral, just to observe and express some gratitude. Feel good about what is in there, because that feeling good is going to bring in more money. Remember, lack attracts lack. So when you look in there and you're like, oh my God, there's no money, that's a no-no. Let's get out of that loop, because that's all it is. It is a loop. It is a practiced belief system that is not real. It actually does not hold any truth besides the truth that we are giving to it. Okay? Now we can take that power back and retrain our brains to have a different loop. Practice 2 is going to be start tracking your income. It's not your expenses, not your bills, not all the places money goes out, but where's your money coming in? And keep a spreadsheet. You sold something on Facebook Marketplace for $20? Great. That's $20 more than you had yesterday. You made a sale on something that you're selling? Amazing. Track it. Show yourself the evidence, even if it's a note on your phone, okay? It doesn't have to be a Google spreadsheet, even though I love a good Google spreadsheet because it will automatically add up the money as you place it in. It doesn't matter. Your notes, a journal, just look, the paycheck, the unexpected refund, the $10 from selling that vase that has just been collecting dust, all of it. And appreciate each cent, because what you appreciate appreciates. What you focus on grows. You're literally training your brain to be on a treasure hunt for abundance instead of a constant surveillance mission for lack. And that shift alone will be worth every cent. And then I want to talk to you about money. Money being a consciousness. I talked about this in our last episode, and I honestly can't stop thinking about it, so I'm bringing it back. And ironically, it was brought to my attention again today. So money is a consciousness. It's an energy. Only about 4% of all money in the world is actual printed cash. The rest lives in agreements, in systems, in vibration, in consciousness, which means if money is consciousness and consciousness is imagination, then if you can imagine it, you can create it in your own reality. So what if instead of treating your bank account like something to survive looking at, you started treating it like a relationship you're genuinely excited to grow? What if opening your banking app felt like checking in on a friendship you're investing in? What if you said good morning to your money, thanked it for showing up, told it you're creating more space for it? I know it sounds a little wild, and I love that about us, but your relationship with money starts in your mind, in your energy, and in how you show up to it. So let's show up differently. So to recap, this week, 1, you're going to check your bank account every morning. Just look at it, breathe, observe what feelings come up, and express gratitude. Then you're going to start a simple income tracker. Write down every single thing that comes in, no matter how small. 3, once this week, say thank you to your money out loud or in writing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for more on the way. I am open to receiving. 3 practices, 5 minutes a day, and I promise you, you'll start to feel a shift. Okay, I want to get really honest with you for a second because I always want this to feel like a conversation, not a performance. When I started this Release My Money Block series, I thought I was going to work through these steps, share my journey with you, and see what happened. But what's actually happening is so much bigger than I expected, because doing this work is bringing up layers. And doing it publicly with you watching is its own kind of accountability. And here's what I've been reflecting on. The steps I'm sharing with you are powerful. They are. But I want to be really real. Doing inner work alone is hard. doing it with support, that is where the transformation gets to go even deeper, even faster. And that's actually why I created the Soul Shine Collective. Because I kept seeing women and men who had the awareness, they knew they had blocks, they knew they wanted more, they knew something needed to shift, but they were trying to do it all solo. And solo is exhausting and slow. Inside my private community, the Soul Shine Collective, we work on exactly this stuff. The mindset, the energy, the money relationship, the self-worth, the alignment, in community with other women and men who are on the same journey. Inside, we have 3 tiers: aligned, abundant, and ascension. So you can come in at exactly the level that feels right for where you are. And if you're someone who wants to go even deeper, if you want someone in your corner walking through this with you one-on-one, helping you see the exact blocks that are running quietly in the background of your specific life and business, that's what my coaching is for. Because I can give you the steps on a podcast, but what I do in a coaching container is help you apply them to your exact situation. See the places you can't see yourself and hold the vision for you even when you've temporarily forgotten it. Both of those links, the Soul Shine Collective and my coaching, are in the show notes. If something in you is saying, yes, it's time, I want you to trust that. That knowing is not an accident. And that's exactly what I did for myself this month. What I just talked about is I joined one coaching community about a month ago. I stayed in for about a month. And I said, you know what? I love this person. She's a cool chick. But this isn't what I need. And I finally listened to myself and said, I really wanted to be in this community for a little while, like a few months. And I finally said yes to myself. I was resisting, but I am so glad I said yes. Okay. So you will know when it's time. And that offer is there for right now, meaning the pricing of where it currently is there right now. And it is a founder's fee. So if you come on in, you'll be locked in for a little bit. All right. What's coming next, y'all? We have 4 more steps left. And honestly, I can say 4, but there might be some more because as I was saying, I feel like these layers are just unfolding and I really have no clue when this is going to, like I said, it might never come to an end, but it will eventually come to an end on the podcast. Like 40 years from now, I'll be like, step 118. I hope not. I am hoping to say, remember when I started my money journey? So if you're coming with me on this journey, there is still more work to do. And each one I'm doing right alongside you in real time, sharing the wins, the resistance, the breakthroughs, all of it. Because real life is where real transformation happens. Okay, beautiful soul, that is your episode for today. Step 5, take care of yourself like your financial life depends on it. Because energetically, it does. Step 6, get intimate with your money. Look at it, track it, thank it, make it feel welcome in your life. Both of these steps are asking you to deepen the relationship, both with yourself and with the energy of abundance. And every time you choose that, you are rewriting your money story. The compound effect of these small daily practices will add up and change everything. I am living proof. If today's episode landed for you, I would love the energy exchange of a share or a review, or even just a DM on Instagram to tell me where you are in this journey. I'm at christine.marcario.coach, and I genuinely read every message. And if you're not on my newsletter yet, come join us. The link is in the show notes. I share things there that don't always make it to the podcast. And if you're feeling that pull toward more support, toward community, toward coaching, toward having someone walk this with you, please look at the show notes. Everything in there is for you. Until we meet again, go book the thing, check your numbers, and tell yourself you love you. Sending you so much love. I'm Christine Marcario. This is Aligned and Abundant, the podcast. Go out there and be the bright, shiny star that you know you are at your core. Bye for now.